everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your monthly Empowered Moments video for the month of April 2023. So for this month's monthly video, we're going to be using the Sirian Star Seed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. So this is going to be a powerful month because we have a solar eclipse this month. So before we get into looking at our stones of choice, let's go ahead and do an empowered moment. So if you get comfortable in your seat, either sitting, reclining, or lying down if you wish, take a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes, and just focus on relaxing your body and clearing your mind of all thoughts. Just being in the present moment, the here and now. Visualizing golden white light of God's source, energy, universe, great spirit, all that is, all around you, encompassing you in its unconditional love, compassion, healing, guidance, and protection. And let's breathe that in deeply into every cell of our bodies. As you exhale, letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. Silently call in your angels, guides, master guides, and teachers of the highest vibration of light. Ask that they provide you with whatever messages, knowledge, wisdom, guidance is in your highest and best interest for this short guided visualization. And as I mentioned, we have a new moon solar eclipse this month in the sign of Aries. And in fact, last month in March, we had a new moon at 0 degrees of Aries, the first degree of the first sign of the zodiac. And now this month, this new moon solar eclipse will be at 29 degrees Aries, the last degree of the first sign of the zodiac, heralding yet new beginnings that are still unfolding in your life. And at the same time, because it's the last degree of Aries, there is some completion energies. So what in your life is coming to completion? What in your life do you still need yet to let go from the previous cycle of energy? What are your new intentions for this new moon? And perhaps they're similar or the same as the last new moon in Aries. Perhaps you're adding a few new intentions for this month. And as this is an eclipse, a solar eclipse, it will magnify and intensify the energies of new beginnings, of your goals, your desires, your intentions. So formulate those intentions in your mind and perhaps later write them down and speak them aloud, sending them out to the universe, to where that initiation energy of this last sign, this last degree, of the first sign of the zodiac can assist with its activation. And this is an activation. New moons are activations into new beginnings, but again, the eclipse makes it even more powerful. So call in that new beginning and open yourselves to the activation. Take in a deep breath and breathe that into every cell of your body. Breathe in that intention. And as you exhale, And in your own time, you can open your eyes and slowly return to this time and this place and this space. And get ready to look at your stones of choice for that special message a little bit later on here in this video. So I have to say that these 3 stones for this month that I'm sharing with you is a result of me initiating something for myself recently, very recently in fact. I started an Akashic Records Reader Certification course. And in that Akashic Records Reader Certification course, I was gifted from the instructor, as we all were. Everybody that is attending that course was gifted with some stones that will help us to activate or get into the Akashic Records. And one of them also was one that, as I was just beginning this course, was gifted to me and unknowingly gifted to me by someone who didn't have any idea that I was taking this course, but does really relate to the opening of the Akashic Records. So let me share these wonderful, beautiful, special stones with you. So the first one here is a selenite wand, okay? So the selenite, in fact, look at how beautiful that is. The selenite gives clarity of mind. It activates the crown chakra. So crown chakra activation, where claircognizance, our clear ability of clear knowing, happens. Expanding one's awareness, universal consciousness, psychic abilities are increased. Angelic connection, or receiving messages from the angelic realm, is increased. Now, the fact that this is a wand of sorts, the wand helps to direct energy when we use a wand. It's also great for healing or clearing. So you can kind of run it over a person's body if you're doing Reiki or energy healing, or if you're doing it on yourself, it can help to clear and align your chakras. So that's the selenite. And then our second stone of choice. Now this is the one that was gifted to me, unbeknownst by someone. Thank you, Tia. This is a Merkaba stone, and this one, actually, the crystal itself is ruby zoisite. I don't know if you can see, but there's the red ruby splotches within the green zoisite here, and it's again a Merkaba stone. So the ruby zoisite, first of all, activates the heart chakra, the green activation of the heart chakra, and red activates the root chakra. So this one, the green zoisite, is great for growth and fertility. The red ruby is great for passion and vitality. Together, they're a wonderful combination for healing and releasing lower emotions that are trapped in the emotional body. It helps one to access soul memory, reawakens the spiritual self, and enhances psychic abilities. Now, the Merkaba shape, Merkabas help us to connect with our higher self and higher consciousness. And it's the spiritual and the physical body encased in, again, like this Merkaba shape of light. And the Merkaba, you can see this is kind of an interesting shape, but if you think of an upward pointing triangle with a downward pointing triangle, and it's it's not just a flat surface, but like this, it's got, a fullness here to it. It's as above, so below. And Merkabas are especially pertinent to the Akashic Records because the overseer of the Akashic Records is Archangel Metatron. And Metatron uses this Merkaba vehicle of light to assist with the ascension process. So there's that connection there. And then the last stone of choice, and this was, again, one of the gifts from the instructor here. This is a clear quartz pendulum. You can see how beautiful, what clarity that has. So the clear quartz itself, it's a master healer. It's a light bringer. It's a powerful amplifier. Clear quartz is always a powerful amplifier of energy. It increases psychic abilities. So all three of these stones has its way of increasing psychic abilities. This also helps with clarity because it is such a clear stone, right? Activates the crown chakra. And clear quartz can be programmed. So we can program any clear quartz crystal with specific intentions. Well, we can do that really with any stone, as I do with my special intention pendants, right? But clear quartz, again, because it's a magnifier or an amplifier, helps to kind of increase that ability to program the crystal. Now, the fact that this is a pendulum, pendulums help us to connect with, well, it doesn't help us. It's actually a tool to help us connect with our higher soul self. So if we're asking our higher soul self questions, we can use the assistance of a pendulum, because our pendulum will connect with our higher soul self in order to receive certain answers to questions that we have. And also, when you're using a pendulum, especially when we're doing healing work or working with the chakras, it can help to locate blocks in our energy field or blocks in our chakras. So those are the special crystals. And again, we've got the selenite wand. We've got the ruby zoisite Merkaba stone. And then we've got the clear quartz pendulum. Okay, so those are the stones of choice. So let's go ahead and talk about the numerology vibration. There's a lot to talk about. So the numerology vibration for the month of April. April is the 4th month of the year. We're in a universal year number for 2023 of a 7, because that's what 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 equals. So if we take that universal year number of the 7, we add it to 4, the month of April, we get master number 11. Master number 11 is the number of the light worker, the visionary, the leader, the spiritual leader who is here to help and assist humanity in some way, shape, or form through its inspiration and innovation and psychic insight. And the master number 11 as a leader, as a spiritual leader, makes one of the best types of leaders, because when we think of leadership in a company or leadership in a country, sometimes that leadership can be overpowering and all about only that person's ideas for something or about something. With the master number 11, it's about this spiritual leader who always takes into account what's in the best and highest interest of all involved, or humanity. But even more than that, it also listens to and wants other people's input and ideas, right? Because the master number 11, if you add the two ones together, equals a 2. So it works with the people, for the people, right beside the people, right? So they're really quite good at, and it's important for them to be good at, relationship or collaboration. So in master number 11, again, is at its highest. It's collaborative, it's visionary, it's psychic, it's leadership oriented. It's that bright, shining light. And they're great with imagination and clairvoyance and all kinds of abilities. So this month vibrates to that master number 11. Now, again, if we reduce it down, which is a 2, we can go back to the idea of relationships, partnerships, one-on-one interaction, and collaboration is going to become important for us all here on the planet. So collaborate with those other people regarding your ideas, connect with new people, network. And even in our more intimate friendships or relationships, this is going to be a time of finding balance, right? The balance of give and take, and the balance of compromise, and the balance of equality, and mutual empowerment and support for one another. So that's also going to be highlighted. Now, if we look at the 11th Major Arcana in the tarot, now this gets a little tricky, because in the Sirian Star Seed Tarot and in a lot of tarot decks, the 11th Major Arcana is the Justice card. In the Sirian Star Seed Tarot, it's called Divine Justice. But there was a time long ago that the 11th Major Arcana was the Strength card. The Strength card in this deck is Major Arcana number 8. So again, in a lot of tarot decks, we have Major Arcana 8 is Strength and Major Arcana 11 is Justice. But in older tarot decks, sometimes, and sometimes too in modern decks, depending on who's creating the deck, they interchange these so that Major Arcana 11 is Strength and Major Arcana 8 is Justice. So I'm going to show you both of these because perhaps both of these energies are going to relate to this month of April. So first, Major Arcana 11 from this deck, Divine Justice. Here she's holding the scales of justice, right? So we're talking about a karmic rebalancing of the scales. We're talking about justice on a collective level, as well as in our own lives that is unfolding and occurring. So whenever I see Justice or Lady Justice here, she's blindfolded, she's got the scales, I always think of Libra, right? And we do actually have a full moon in Libra this month, which we'll get to in a moment. So here again, we're talking about bringing not only situations and circumstances in our lives into a karmic balancing process, but also energies within ourselves, within our mind, our body, our spirit. We're needing to balance the divine masculine and the divine feminine, balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain, which is logic and intuition. So everything is going to be about this balance or justice or karmic rebalancing that's occurring right now. Now, if we look at the Strength card, which again in some decks is Major Arcana 11, this is where the lion comes in. In this deck, it's a tiger, right? But we've got this fiery, confident, take charge energy, sort of like Master number 11, right? Master number 11 is the number of the light worker, the leader, the visionary. The Strength card is often about someone who's confident, courageous, and is in a leadership position or ready to move into a leadership position. Their energy is strong and passionate and fiery, just like this tiger here. And the number 8 in numerology is about empowerment, is about being the authority or owning your own inner authority and taking charge and being in a place within your life purpose or life path or even your career path where you're in charge of your destiny. And even with Master number 11, it's made up with 2 ones. And so we've got that individuality, that take charge leadership energy there as well. So I think both of those cards are fitting. So let's go ahead and take a look at the astrological transits of significance this month. There's not a lot, but they are powerful. So on April 3rd, we do have Mercury, the planet that rules the mental realm, thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications, moving out of Aries and into the sign of Taurus, Earth sign Taurus, which is more grounded and practical. Now, usually Mercury spends about 3 weeks or so in each sign of the zodiac, but Mercury is going to spend an extra long time in Taurus for the reason that it's going to go retrograde in Taurus later this month. So it's going to, again, enter Taurus on April 3rd. It's going to retrograde on the 21st, which we'll get to here in a second. And then it's going to spend, a few more weeks, so that there's probably a total of about 6 weeks. I didn't quite write it down here on this, on my notes here. But it's going to spend that extra long time. So what is Taurus about? Taurus, as I said, is more practical and grounded with its ideas and thoughts, more cautious with its ideas and thoughts. Communication is more work-related, practical, grounded as well. But Taurus does rule personal resources, and Taurus ruling personal resources rules money and finances as well as other types of resources. So our mind, our thoughts, our ideas, our focus, if you will, because it is a fixed sign, so it's very focused, can be on those personal resources in our life. Now, Taurus also rules our sense of self-value. It rules our values in general, what we value, but it rules our sense of self-value as well, which translates to self-worth. So we're going to be thinking a lot about that in the weeks ahead. Do I feel worthy and deserving? Am I valuing myself? Am I valuing my time? Am I valuing who I am in this relationship? Am I feeling valued in my career or in my interaction with others? So there's going to be a lot of focus on that during the next few weeks. And then on the 5th of April, that's when we have a full moon in Libra, 16 degrees of Libra. So what is this going to be about? Well, full moons are a time of healing and completion, letting go. Of course, as we near the full moon, the emotional energies are always on the rise, and this one is going to be in the area of partnerships and relationships, right? That's what Libra is all about. Balance, harmony, compromise, relationships, my interaction with the other. And the other could be the boss, the parent, the sibling, the romantic partner, the friend. So there's going to be a focus around these interactions with other people in our lives that comes to a head around the 5th. And then again, healing can take place thereafter in regards to, do I feel empowered in these relationships? And do I feel balanced within myself? You know, am I always being the people pleaser and the peacemaker in these interactions? Or am I in fact learning to please myself as well, or make sure that I feel pleased in these interactions? Now on the 10th, we've got Venus, the planet that rules love and relationships, as well as money and finances. She's going to be moving out of Taurus, which is one of her home signs, where she was more focused on personal resources and money and finances. Now she's going to be moving into Gemini until May 7th. So Venus and Gemini. Venus, love, relationships. Gemini is very social and very light and playful and likes to flit, you know, from one thing to another, very curious about things, very communicative and talkative and expressive in that way on a logical, intellectual level. So she's going to have a little bit more fun and lightheartedness for the next few weeks until May 7th while she's there. Then we get to the big thing happening this month, which is on the 19th of April. This is the new moon solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries. Wow. So again, new moons, activations of new beginnings. This is the second new moon that we've had because the first one was at 0 degrees in the month of March. Now we're having one at the last degree, the 29th degree here in the month of April. Solar eclipses magnify the energy and last a lot longer, the energy of this new moon, of new beginnings. Initiation will last a lot longer than a typical new moon energy will. Right? Every month we have a new moon, but this one being a solar eclipse, which means, yes, next month in May, we will have a full moon lunar eclipse, which is going to come up on May 5th. So we'll talk about that next month. But the eclipses, again, can be active a lot longer. The energy is a lot more powerful. And this one specifically is going to be powerful because it's squaring, which is a challenging aspect, to Pluto. Now that's interesting because the new moon is at 29 degrees Aries and 50 minutes. So in 10 more minutes, it moves into Taurus, right? But it's actually at 29 degrees Aries. Well, Pluto, remember Pluto just recently went into the 0 degree point of Aquarius. Aquarius and Taurus challenge one another. They are in a square connection to one another. So because that new moon solar eclipse is so close to Taurus, but not quite, it's going to actually be challenging or squaring Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. And what's interesting about that is that Pluto, because it moves so slowly and because it's going to go retrograde here pretty soon, and over the next 2 years, it's going to go in and out between Capricorn, where it was, and then back into Aquarius, where it currently is. That means that Pluto's going to square this eclipse degree a few times. So I think that that's very important. And probably as we go further along month to month and this comes up, I'll probably talk about this again. But I'm going to give you the time periods that when Pluto goes retrograde and then turns direct, and then goes retrograde in 2024 and then turns direct. These are the time periods that it's going to square the 29-degree Aries solar eclipse degree, which I think is going to be very important and transformative on a collective level, and it could be on a personal level too. It just depends on how it's affecting your chart and if it's connecting with any planets or whatnot, but definitely transformative on a collective level. And that's going to be, of course, this month, because that's when the eclipse occurs, right? And then it will connect again. Pluto will challenge the eclipse degree again in June, and then January 2024, and then September, October, and November of 2024. So we've got a good long time where there's a lot happening. In fact, I think I might do, and I know I said this before, so probably do a separate video on my channel about Pluto going into Aquarius and then squaring this degree, because there's a whole lot more we could talk about regarding that. And then let's look at the 21st of April. This is when Mercury turns to retrograde motion at 15 degrees of Taurus, right in the middle of Taurus. And again, Mercury rules that mental realm, logic and analysis and ideas and thoughts and communication. And it retrogrades again at 15 degrees Taurus, and it'll give us that time to reevaluate some things in our lives, reevaluate our current financial circumstances, because Taurus rules money, reevaluate our values and what it is that we value, because Taurus rules values, reevaluate how we're valuing ourselves, that sense of self-worth, because Taurus rules that as well. And then just a little heads up, on May 1st, and I know that's going to be part of next month's video, but on May 1st, the very first day of May, Pluto turns retrograde at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So I want to mention it this month, because that means in the last couple of weeks of April, especially the last week of April this month, we're going to start feeling the effects of Pluto stationing, coming to a standstill. And since Pluto is about power and control and death and rebirth and transformation and change, we might see towards that last week of April a magnification or intensification of some of those energies that he's ruling, especially because he's in that 0 degree point of Aquarius, that very first degree, that transition energy between Capricorn and Aquarius. So it's even more powerful at this time. So that's a little bit about the astrology. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. Excuse me. So let's turn over the first card here. Okay, the first card is the Four of Flames. This is like the Four of Wands or the Four of Fire. As you can see, there's fire here with the torches or the flames. So the number 4 is usually a number in numerology that can be restrictive and limiting, or that holds us back in some way. But usually the Four of Wands, I want to say almost always, I've always seen the Four of Wands as being a very positive card. So let's talk about the positive keywords for the number 4. Structure, form, manifestation, feeling grounded, feeling secure. So here in the Four of Flames, we're feeling grounded and secure in our sense of spirituality or in our spiritual selves. We're feeling more grounded within our creative, inspirational energies. The Four of Flames, the Four of Wands, is usually about some sort of celebration. Usually we see, like it's associated with like a wedding or a commitment or a joyous occasion where people are coming together in celebration. Now, this particular one doesn't have any people in it. This particular one has a castle here with 4 torches, 4 flames, and kind of a walkway, a bridge towards that castle. So we can say here, with the 4 being about structure or restructure, that we're restructuring our creative inspirations. We're restructuring our spiritual selves or spiritual bodies. We're walking step by step, because 4s move very slowly in a step by step deliberate manner. They're very cautious and they take things very patiently and persistently towards their goal. So we're walking across this bridge, but we don't have to run, we don't have to rush. In fact, it's more enjoyable if we take our times. So this is about the enjoyment on our path. This is about being at this precipice or the edge of this bridge into this new realm that we're going to. We can look at the castle as our dreams, our hopes, our wishes, where it is that we want to go or end up. So here again, we're going to take patient steps forward across this bridge towards something new that we are soon in time going to be able to celebrate. So celebration of ourselves, celebration of goals accomplished, celebration of the next step on our path, celebration of new gifts unfolding, new blessings that are unfolding. We've even got the sun rising here above the castle, right? The sun rising is like the initiation energy of Aries. It's like the new moon in Aries that initiates this new beginning. And so we still have the sun, and it's initiating, enlightening, creative, passionate, awakening sort of stance here as it's coming up over the castle, which again can stand for whatever our dreams and goals are. And again, we just need to patiently take step by step forward in this month of April. Now, we might not get all the way to the castle in this month, but as we take each step and enjoy ourselves along the way, because we've got some lovely roses here, right? So we have to stop and smell the flowers along the way, right? And pay attention to our heart chakra. The rose, the red rose, connects with our heart center. Stay connected to your heart center and just enjoy yourself as you're walking forward, okay? Got lots of oranges and yellows in here. The red, the root chakra, security, stability. The orange, creative passion of the sacral chakra. The yellow, our sense of personal power, confidence, and take charge ability. So all of those are indicated in this card. Let's take a look at the second card. And the second card, not surprised to see this one. This is Major Arcana 19. This is solar deity in this deck. In the traditional tarot, it's called the sun. And we have a new moon solar eclipse this month on the 19th. So yeah, not surprised to see this. This eclipse energy, I always love to see this card because it's full of vibrancy and passion and energy and creative expression and rising to new heights, flying to new heights, spreading your wings, right? Be who you were meant to be. Don't shy away. Don't hide in the closet. This is about coming out of the closet, spreading your wings into new adventures or new ventures, right? It's about being your true, confident, courageous, and vibrant, most positive self. And so as we move into the solar eclipse, this solar deity card, the sun card, is about shining your light for all the world to see. The traditional sun card can be about success and recognition of who we are in our career or on our path. So it's time for you to shine your light and be recognized. Come on out in the open. So far, these two cards full of fire and passion and energy. This is a great reading so far. Let's see what the last card has to say. Love it. It's another flame, another fire. It's the 8 of fire. And weren't we just talking about the number 8 being a number of empowerment, right? The 8th major arcana, strength, confidence, leadership, taking charge. Okay, which again is supposed to be the 11th in some decks, Major Arcana, which is why we pulled that into this reading. But the number 8 is about being your own inner authority. The number 8 on a third dimensional level can be about success and recognition in business and with money and finances and being a leader, a manager, a supervisor, being promoted. And on a spiritual level, again, it's us moving into our power, move into the power of who you are. Now, the 8 of flames, the 8 of wands, the 8 of fire, this speeds things up. And eclipses also speeds things up. I didn't mention that, but when we have either a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, it speeds up the energy unfolding, whether it's healing energy, releasing energy, letting go energy, or initiation energy, or new beginning energy, moving into the future energy. So here this month, we've got the new moon solar eclipse. Next month in May, when we have the lunar eclipse, it'll be more about releasing, letting go, endings. This is about initiation, new beginnings, and starting a new path or blazing a new trail. So the Eight of Wands, it's almost like another sun here, right? We got a wheel here. It's like either Wheel of Fortune kind of energy, where the wheel of karma is shifting and turning to our benefit, or the sun, again, recognition and shining your light. Got eight wands or eight flames or eight rods coming out of that circle sun, right? Which the circle is also about infinity, right? It's always cyclical and never ending. But the Eight of Flames is often about being very busy all of a sudden, or either you're very busy and you're juggling many things and wearing many hats, or the energy and the situations and circumstances that we're in is very busy. It can almost seem overwhelming and chaotic and become confusing because sometimes it gets so busy and there's so much happening. Now, the so much happening, again, can be situational, or it can be about your growth and evolution as a soul, that things are just speeding up and you're kind of taking leaps and jumps forward in your evolution and growth. You're rising again to new heights, like the Pegasus here. The Pegasus in this, sun card, solar deity card, rising to new heights. So yeah, things are going to be wonderfully busy. Now, some people don't like the energy of busy. Some people like the energy of peace, calm, and quiet. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But just know that there's going to be a lot of passionate, active energies that are moving. And whether or not you like that kind of energy, or you prefer, the more stable, calm energies, I would say for anybody and everybody, we're going to need to ground, we're going to need to center, we're going to need to meditate, we're going to need to do what we can to stay balanced with this kind of very active, fiery sort of energy this month. All right, so far so good. Let's take a look at the special message depending on your stone of choice. So that first stone of choice was the selenite wand. So for those of you that chose the selenite wand, let's see, this is again that gateway of light activation. So I thought, solar eclipses are like gateways of activation. So what gateway of activation message are for the selenite wand people? Selenite wand people message. This one here is calling my attention. Anunnaki light codes, okay? Anunnaki light codes, energetic shifts, new information, and it says end of a cycle. So you're going through, and I really feel like it is around the new moon solar eclipse for you, but it could be from the full moon on the 5th through the new moon, or just thereafter, which is on the 19th. So here you're ending some sort of a cycle of old energy. And I want to say it's, some lower vibrational thought patterns, some lower vibrational subconscious patterns, something, karmic, situationally, or in relationship. It could be in any area of life that's been kind of this repeating theme for you. And I feel like this activation here, this energetic shift and new information with these light codes coming in are helping you to rise above whatever that old energy is. It's like this huge clearing, cleansing, releasing, purging, transmuting that's happening for you all. So this is a month where you're going to need to stay grounded energetically, and you need to focus on your soul growth and evolution. I'd say very much like journaling would be good. Daily meditation would be good. Doing some sort of spiritual types of exercises, if you will, would be good. I'm looking at what's going on here. We've got kind of this wings right here, down here. And this is almost like a face right here, right? So the wings, and where the wings are appearing would be kind of around the throat chakra, right? And actually it almost looks like this little thing here is like the throat chakra. And then the wings are just below it, sort of between the heart chakra and the throat chakra. So we're activating this ability to communicate and speak your truth and be authentic with your voice, but to also, as you're communicating and speaking your truth, do it from the heart space. Do it from unconditional love and compassion for all people that's involved in whatever circumstance or situation you're needing to speak your truth in. It's not about being overbearing or commanding or disempowering, right? You're empowered to speak your truth, but doing so from this heart space. So I feel like you have a heart opening going on and a throat chakra opening and clearing that's going on. And these light codes are also here activating where the ear chakras would be. So it's activating your clairaudience here. It's activating your claircognizance up here. Maybe it's activating with the throat chakra your ability to channel. So do automatic writing. Or, you know, again, in speaking your truth, you might actually start hearing words coming out that's not necessarily how you normally communicate or talk. So you could be channeling energies from a higher level. Could be your higher soul self, could be an angel or a guide. But these light codes are bringing in some really positive shifts and evolutionary energy that you can see is coming down from universal God source creation here and into the crown chakra, and then all down through all the other chakras, but especially those upper chakras are being lit up and activated even more for you. All right, let's put that back in the deck in case somebody else gets it. And the second was the Ruby Zoisite Merkaba. So Ruby Zoisite Merkaba people, what is their activation message? Activation message for Ruby Zoisite Merkaba people. Oh, that one's sticking right up as soon as I open my eyes, huh? Oh my gosh, did I not put that in correctly? No mistakes. I closed my eyes. I was shuffling. That was the first one that jumped out at me. So you also are having the same activation light codes for the Merkaba people, the energetic shifts, the new information, right? New wisdom and knowledge, messages and information coming down through the crown chakra in a form of claircognizance. Just all of a sudden things pop into your head. Could be a vision that pops into your head, but more this is like a knowingness, like you just know something to be, a new idea pops into your head. That could be some of the information that's being downloaded and coming in. Creative downloads, informational downloads, right? And again, that end of a cycle also for you. So everything I said for the selenite people also is going to be for you, the Merkaba people, the Ruby Zoisite Merkaba people. So let me see if there's anything else that I'm getting. I feel like for the Merkaba people, because it's heart chakra, root chakra with that particular Ruby Zoisite, you know, yes, the upper chakras are being activated, but now we are bringing in heart chakra of unconditional love and compassion for self, self-value, self-worth, and grounding that into your truth, right? The root chakra is grounding and feeling more secure within that truth of who you are as a light being, as a light worker. Whatever it is you're here to do. It's like, so open that heart chakra first to yourself and give yourself that nurturing and love and guidance. And then channel that down into grounding it. You can even see a cord coming out of the bottom of your feet, which is an exercise we did in the Akashic Records course so far, is the cord that comes either from our own root chakra down into Earth Mother Gaia, or from the soles of our feet or feet chakras into Earth Mother Gaia, and then Earth Mother Gaia is securing us to her nurturing, healing energy and helping us to feel more secure with ourselves. All right, you guys. Wow. I'm going to definitely put that back in the deck so that it's even with all of them. Not that that's a bad card. It's a great card. But now the last message is the activation message for the clear quartz pendulum people. Clear quartz Clear quartz pendulum people and their activation message for April. Nope, nothing jumping out yet. Clear quartz pendulum activation message for April. Clear quartz pendulum people. You know, this one's calling my attention as I open my eyes. This one, oh, more seed codes. Now they're not all about codes. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at some of these other cards. Nope, they're not all about codes. But this one also. This is Lemurian seed codes, okay? Pendulum people, Lemurian seed codes. Try to say that 3 times fast. Embracing sensitivity. So you need to embrace, see, the other one to me was more solar plexus, golden yellow chakra, take charge. This one is about embracing your sensitivity, embracing, to me, the divine feminine, embracing the healing, intuitive energies within you. So it says embracing sensitivity, uniqueness. Don't compare yourselves to others, right? You are your own unique individual with your own unique talents and gifts. So honor your uniqueness and living with grace. So again, this has a very feminine sort of feel to it as opposed to that more take charge masculine feel, which is interesting because master number 11, which is the numerology vibration for April, master number 11 is more with the 2 ones, the 2 ones have more of a masculine take charge energy. But if you add up the 2 ones in the master number 11, it's 2, which is more of the feminine, intuitive, go with the flow, surrender, healing sort of energy. And that's what the Lemurian light codes is saying. So you're being activated with light codes. And maybe you've had past lives in Lemuria. Maybe you know that. Maybe you don't. So you might want to go ahead and meditate on the idea of Lemuria or the Lemurians, which were more of a peaceful kind of people, healing and intuitive and psychic and just very, very connected to the divine feminine to me were the Lemurians. And I definitely, my very first past life regression was in a group. I went to a class, and this was like 25 years ago. Went to a group past life regression and never had done anything like that before. I was just kind of opening and awakening onto my path. And I went to Lemuria. That's where I was. I saw the pyramids, I saw the crystals, and so very much like this card here, the Lemurian seed codes are activating that divine feminine healing, loving energy within you. So you might want to, in meditation, try to connect with the Lemurian ancestors of the light, whether you had a past life in Lemuria or not. The Lemurians are wanting to connect with you, to give forth these codes, these seed codes of information. I would say if you don't have a Lemurian seed crystal, see if you can find one. You can get, I have some big ones like a wand. I also have small Lemurian seed crystals that I've wrapped into special intention pendants. I've got ones that are not wrapped. But find yourself a Lemurian seed crystal, which usually has kind of grooves on it. That's the kind of the telltale sign of a Lemurian seed crystal. It's got these kind of grooves on it, like an old time record. It used to have kind of grooves in it, and that's how we would play the old time record. Well, the Lemurian seed crystals have information encoded in them. So whatever you're drawn to, if you can go and pick one out somewhere at a metaphysical store, or even if you end up buying one online, just say, I'd like to be guided to the Lemurian seed crystal that is meant for me, that's encoded with information that I need to know or meditate upon or connect to. And you'll be led to the right crystal for sure. So that's really super exciting. I love that Lemurian crystal. They're not usually rainbow colored like that. They're usually like a clear quartz crystal, but with those grooves in it. But this one's got like rainbow light in it. And so to me, it's like hope and peace and the future promise of, humanity and serving one another. It just has that kind of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow sort of feeling to it, right? where abundance and blessings are coming in and coming down here for you. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Sending you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings till we meet again. Namaste.